everyone, how are you doing? It sounds like last week video really opened up all kind of worms. Um, Thanks everyone for the feedback. By the way, I love getting questions and being given challenged a little bit about some concept that, as I said, are not as widespread like maybe one might think, or are not accepted in the general sense. So it looks like when I talk about intention, um, I am met on the other side by some of you with a little bit of skepticism. Thank you so much for voicing out the skepticism, as every other feeling is absolutely valid. And so, first of all, I want to acknowledge that being told that sometimes creating your own reality is about setting intentions can be triggering for some of us, okay? Totally normal and totally understandable. I hear you. So let me do a little bit of a deeper dive in what setting an intention really means. Someone wrote to me and said, well, then I sent an intention about winning the lottery, and that I set the intention. Guess what? I didn't win last week. Okay, so an intention is not a wish. Okay, it's not daydreaming. An intention is something so much more profound because it's all about putting the hard work behind it. Okay, and so first of all, I will say that why do you want to win the lottery? Because asking about winning the lottery, setting an intention about winning the lottery, it's not an intention, because what is really that you are desiring behind winning the lottery? Let me peel one layer of the onion for you. Well, probably this person is thinking that he wants to have more money, right? That's why people tend to play the lottery. Fair. And so are we gonna go set an intention about, I wanna be rich by the end of the week? No, let's peel another layer, right? What is really behind that desire of having more money? And here, unfortunately, I cannot tell you, because the answer is, for a lot of people desire to have more money, but the reason why we want more money is very different, right? There are certain people for which money represents freedom. There are certain people for which money represents peace of mind. There are certain people for which money represents having the ability of making an impact in society. There are a long list of things, right? Which are all about what is really the core thought that we have behind having money and behind winning the lottery. So that's the first thing, that when we talk about setting an intention, through coaching, we dive deeper and deeper into the reasons, the big whys behind something. Because sometimes we focus so much on the how, winning the lottery, versus the what, which is, I don't know, I want to help a family member who's sick with the best possible therapy that is not paid by insurance or whatever, right? Then, when you do that, the degrees of freedom that you can apply to setting an intention drastically change, because the way to go about that can be very different than just being narrow-minded in winning the lottery. Yes, that's hard, right? But again, it's not the goal. That's just a tool, right? And so if we are super clear about what the goal is, Now, the tools that that we choose to apply and go after can be very, very different and still achieving the end goal without necessarily setting the intention on the how, which, yeah, might not be the best way for us to go about it, right? So that's the first thing that I want to clarify about setting an intention. In order to purposefully set an intention, you need to be crystal clear about your why and what it is exactly that you're achieving, much less about focusing on the how. I'm Simona Pappalardo, and I'm a coach who helps overworked and overwhelmed managers become authentic and confident leaders who create success for themselves, their teams, and their organization at large. I hope I've clarified at least one point about setting intentions. I'll talk to you again next week with some other pushback I received so that hopefully I can clarify for the whole audience. Talk to you soon. Bye.